If we are far enough away from ground zero, a shelter may offer a chance of short-term survival. In a global nuclear war, any large city can expect at least a 1 megaton bomb. 1 megaton is 70 times more powerful than a bomb that erased the entire city of Hiroshima. In all the tests of nuclear devices and the detonations of the bombs that fell on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, their power and their devastation always exceeded predictions made by the scientists involved. The facts and figures used in this program are also conservative, so the effects of a nuclear war may be far worse than any predictions we have made. In any event, the results could well mean the end of all life on Earth.
The thermal pulse generated by a 1 megaton bomb reaches approximately 5,000 degrees Celsius at ground zero and moves outward at the speed of light. Even concrete and bricks and hard steel melt in an instant. Immediately following the thermal pulse comes the shock wave. In a modern city, shattered window glass becomes a horrifying rain of death. People would be hit by a storm of glass fragments blown from high buildings. In major cities around the world, at mid-afternoon on a warm, sunny day in July, the population density is at its peak. Stores are filled with shoppers and tourists. Children are enjoying their summer vacations. The streets are crowded. And office towers filled with workers. A 1 megaton warhead detonated above such a major population center would vaporize everything in a flash of light. In 1977, the United States government published a book, The Effects of Nuclear Weapons. Details from this book were used to create the following simulation. The focus for this simulation is Tokyo, because of its large population, its industries, its communications and transportation network. A 1 megaton nuclear warhead explodes about 2.5 kilometers above the city. A detonation at this height produces maximum destructive power. In Tokyo, at exactly 2 p.m. on an average weekday, within a 5-kilometer distance of ground zero, there are an estimated 50,000 train commuters and 3,500 cars on the expressways. Hotels and temples, gas and oil storage tanks, nearby high-rise buildings, shopping districts, and residential areas. A little park that is to become ground zero echoes with the cheerful shouts of children. Suddenly, a gigantic fireball, almost 2 kilometers in diameter, appears in the sky, and the thermal pulse sears the ground. The shock wave at ground zero exerts a pressure of 20 tons per square meter. Buildings are crushed and pieces scattered. Then a powerful wind with incredible speed tears at anything left standing. Lines of cars burst into flame as they are hit by the thermal pulse and blast wave. Belts of fire run through the city streets. The center of Japan's political and economic life is swallowed by an enormous ball of fire and utterly destroyed. In other major cities such as Toronto, New York, London, and Moscow, the same scenes of death and destruction will be repeated over and over. The heart of a city, directly beneath ground zero, will be vaporized in an instant. Everything facing ground zero bursts into flame in the white flash of the thermal pulse. Seconds later, the shock wave strikes. The glass skin of the buildings is blasted into fragments and driven by tremendous winds with speeds of 400 kilometers an hour. Thousands of tons of shattered glass showers down upon anyone caught in the open. Within 5 kilometers from ground zero, there will be complete destruction. At a distance of 10 kilometers, the thermal radiation still has the power to ignite anything that it touches. Fuel storage facilities are a necessary part of any large city. Often located near shopping areas, houses, and schools, these are within the city boundaries. When these are struck by the thermal pulse, the energy released by 1 million tons of fuel is equivalent to several nuclear explosions. The eruptions and searing fireballs add to the deadly rain of nuclear destruction. During the working day in the larger cities of the world, there are several 100,000 people within 2 kilometers of the city center. They will be killed instantly. Within 20 kilometers, there are several million people, and only a small fraction of them could expect to survive. These projections are based on a single 1 megaton bomb. But in a nuclear war, many warheads will be fired at each target. Today, the number of nuclear warheads throughout the world is 50,000, but this number is increasing by more than 1,000 each year.
3, 2, 1, mark.
The American ICBM Minuteman III, traveling at 20 times the speed of sound, it can cover the distance between America and the Soviet Union in 30 minutes. To match this, the Soviet Union has 2 missiles, the SS-18 and the SS-19. A nuclear attack target map